Hi, Jeff. I'm Dr. Karen. Thank you so much for writing in about your worries with Snickers always being under the covers in bed. So, when it comes to having dogs in the bedroom, my position is always that if it's not a problem, then it's not a problem. So, what I mean by that is that if you don't have any behavioral issues, if you're happy with Snickers being under the covers with you, and you're not actually having any health or risk concerns, then there's no reason to make any changes. But there are a few reasons why having your dog sleeping under the covers with you could be an issue. The first and most important is if you are having any behavioral concerns with Snickers, like if he's having any aggression toward you or any other members of the family, if he's showing some dominance problems, or just in general, you're worried that perhaps he doesn't understand that he's a dog, not a human, then it is important to get him out of the bed. Now, that might mean just setting them up with a comfy, cozy bed with some blankets in the bedroom, or you might want to explore getting your dog into a crate. Now, a dog crate should never be thought of as a punishment or really as a cage. The best way to think of a dog crate is as a little dog bedroom. It's somewhere that they can feel safe, secure, and cozy, and that's essentially what they're seeking by coming underneath the covers with you. They want warmth, they want security, they want a place that they can feel really happy and cozy. And if that isn't to be your bed, then the important thing is to give them an alternative that makes them feel just as secure. Now, if you haven't used a crate with your dog before, then you might be in for a few sleepless nights as they get used to being separated from you. But if you persevere, it will be well worth it, I can guarantee you. Although dogs should always be a really important part of our family, it is essential that they understand that they are dogs and not humans. Because if they start to get confused about leadership roles, that's where you can run into issues of dominance, aggression, and confusion. Dogs need to know who's in charge, who their leaders are, otherwise it becomes really stressful. And for some dogs, sleeping in the bed alongside their humans, that can lead to a lot of confusion about who's actually in charge, or they may become really protective of certain family members over others. In our house, my two chihuahuas sleep in the bed alongside me and husband, and we don't have any behavioral issues with them. And in fact, it actually helped get them house trained because they would actually go to the toilet in their crate because the crate was so large. But because they're quite small and the bed's very tall, they have to wake me up if they need to go to the toilet, and that helped us get total control of their house training. But if you've got a really large dog, perhaps you have some health issues that you can't really share your bed with your dog, then you need to be really firm and strict about keeping them out. And that might mean keeping them out of the bed but in your bedroom, or you might need to keep them out of the bedroom completely. The important thing is that when they're coming under the covers with you, it's because they're seeking warmth and security. So making sure you can provide them with that in a different way is the best way to keep them out from under your covers, but make sure that they're happy under their own. But as I said in the beginning, if it's not a problem for you and it's not a problem for them, then it's really not a problem. In which case, happy snuggling. If you'd like to discuss this further, or if you have any other questions, do please head over to pangovet.com and you can actually book an online consultation with one of our vets.